Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. For those new here, my name's Nikki. I'm an author and editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. Today we're here for another of my top 10 lists. Yes indeed. And we're going to be talking today about my top 10 classic novel crushes. Yes, just a little bit of a frivolous old video today. So, kicking us off at number 10 is Raskolnikov in Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. This may seem a really odd choice, but there's just something about the character I've always loved. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for poor old Raskolnikov. At number 9, another perhaps a dubious choice in some people's eyes is Lovelace from Clarissa by Samuel Richardson. For those who are not familiar with the story, Lovelace is quite the rogue. He's a rake and he sets about trying to seduce a virtuous young woman. But who doesn't love a rake? I mean, come on. And that links very nicely with actually our number 8, who is of a similar vein, and that is Valmont in Les Liaisons Dangereuses by Delaclos. Again, Valmont is an arch seducer of young women and spends a lot of the novel trying to win over a couple of characters actually during the course of the story. Moving on to someone a little bit more upright and virtuous in manner, and that is Aragorn in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I mean, I've called this classic novels, but I've included a couple of modern classics here, so I hope you'll forgive me. One of those being Lord of the Rings. Aragorn's such a great character, you know, he's the real action hero, gets to be king at the end, so hey, why not? I'll be queen. Number 5, Enjolras in Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Enjolras is of course our revolutionary hero. Who doesn't love a revolutionary hero? Well, I certainly do. And he's always been a bit of a favourite of mine. I love Hugo's descriptions of him as this sort of blonde guy with this high forehead and sort of a look of revolutionary zeal in his eyes, if you like. Who wouldn't be attracted to that? Number 4, Henry Tilney in Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. I've always been very fond of Henry Tilney. I think he's one of those underrated Jane Austen heroes. Everyone thinks of Darcy and the like, but I love good old Henry. He's such a solid character and a really sweet guy. Number 3, my other modern classic choice is Maxime de Winter in Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Again, you might say perhaps he's not the most obvious romantic choice, but I do rather love him, and I actually quite like the guys who have a little bit of, I want to say bad boy, but it doesn't necessarily equate to bad boy, but who have a bit of a dark past, perhaps we'll say. So that's why Maxim makes the list. And the top 2 spots, I'm afraid I have gone pretty classic for the classics, if you like. First of all, number 2, we have Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Fairly obvious choice. I mean, who doesn't love Darcy? Again, he's one of those guys, you know, who perhaps doesn't seem perfect at first. He has a few faults, but I think that makes him all the more likeable because he's not that sort of 100% perfect person that we can't relate to. And finally, number 1 of the list is Mr. Rochester from Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. I've always had a soft spot for Rochester. Who hasn't? Again, he's just one of those characters that I think a lot of women fall for, maybe some guys too, I don't know. Drop a comment if that's true, if you're a guy. And he's just, again, that sort of brooding, slightly dark hero, a sort of Byronic hero in some ways. So, those were my top 10 literary crushes from classic novels. What are some of yours? Pop them in the comments below, I'd love to read them. And I'll be back again very soon with another vlog for you. Bye for now, everyone.